Okay, abusia, yebemo bibi akwaba, shronkoso, abanama one political channel, POG Media, shumesho osafei, ena sawaba, obe like na subscribe na afi so to my share jumedi no, ama from sensa atumi aka, and please kindly click on the notification bell so ama brand no, any political update be the better channel ni subiano, onso onsa atumi aka na washe, na afi so asanso atwere wadwene, afi yembo nra yensem nimne mfansem dodo na embreo, abusia, NDC lawyer, Tsatsu abusia odinsembi aba betudwa efa NPP executives no according to lawyer Tsatsu na ochese NPP executives no omonka omo anuntum esanse galamsa ende anoso aye dedenden ama His Excellency John Dramani Mahama enso papa no still na obo ne homoden no NPP fo ene hyase a galamse no omutu ni gidigidi na even Nanado under Akuffo government na Ghana for ye complaining galamse say yenshu galamse say forest to na still na nanado ehye Jubilee House issue licenses e man encrof abusia expose a lawyer Tsatsu aje afa NPP executives won titru nanado dan Akuffo ho no ano ede na papa na me waste time kra na me person ba mi akone akwakutie papa ne nsem no mu bi na sana be kon me show say jumedi onya like ya be like subscribe to the channel na afin so share jumedi no ma for from sensa entume enkebi medamase
illegal mining ana galamse hu Tsatsu obi anim no eba sebio law eba sebio yenjina court ni yencheche nsemu na yan sebio yentwitwanji nipa anase yenka na nipa bi a wodi bone yemfam kotu efiase no o ye nipa bi a wawidra wo miye Ghana de say yebo Tsatsu na onim na bi a wo frikata but Tsatsu de obi anu say yebo anwureni Tsatsu e Ghana nsensemu court nsemu a na wo ye Ghana na onim na bi a wo frikata now enda wakasa afa galamse hu or say clearly there are vested interests that are protecting the galamse activities. Tsatsu alleges galamse licenses were granted to people closer to people of power. The renowned lawyer points to political connections as a key factor in illegal mining. And Tsatsu ekasano or say yenyina ye ni tua de ekosini yehu sebio de Emma galamse we ne ko aye din ne se nipa bia na mo ben tumi nipa bia na se bi otumi bedi omu nsem nipa bia na mo dwene se sa tumi ne de ama omo no omo betumi afa koti kwan so e de certificate license ama ere Ghana fo bi ana nipa bi emomotu egudie no o se nipa bia na mo ben tumi na se bi omo fa koti kwan so e de enya license a omo de bowura yensase so a omode essay yensase mumyenkotie Tsatsu unim na ufrikata.
One is that clearly there are vested interests that are protecting the whole situation that we find ourselves in. There are vested interests which are trying to prevent any serious combating of what we publicly are recognizing is an untenable situation. I mean, you ask yourself, if we all proclaim that this is something terrible, why is it that there's still some people who are able to get away with, mining in forest areas, illegal, mining in various parts of the country? I mean, clearly, some of these people have felt protected politically, for instance. And again, I think we need to call a spade a spade. I mean, in the last 8 years, you look at the number of licenses that were granted for mining, including mining in these forest areas and so on. And it doesn't make sense. I mean, if you were saying a year ago, you were raising issues, alarms about this. Why was it possible, even just before the handover to a new government that had been elected, in the December election, why was it possible for so many new licenses to be granted? Why? You ask yourself.
You talk about in the last 8 years, but you do understand that even before the last 8 years, galamse was still rampant.
I understand that. All I'm pointing out is that we are talking about continued, galamsey activities, even in the face of us all agreeing as a country that this is doing a lot of damage. Yes, it's been there, but the scale of it in the last year has been extraordinary. I mean, your colleagues, investigative journalists, have been, exposing some of these things. Everybody is talking about it. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that it's a new problem. I'm saying that the scale of the problem has been extraordinary, and it would not have reached these levels if it did not have the backing of powerful vested interests.
And
One is that clearly there
are... so say Galana ekoso mum yenjai de ne ye no mama me yenya atwom se be 8 years here etwemi se ne yenyina yesu se yensu sei galamsey koso a adentina na aban no eda homa license because unkuta license a untumi nko forest enko mining, and majority of the people who got the license no omo na omo call hwa instead of them to do responsible mining they did illegal mining. And to say asam ye tiawa mum yenjai na ye ho se ye nim de ekoso problem a ye wo mu sisia no eye aban a Akuffo Addo ne Bawumia na omo da no ye se ye bre asase ne sei insuo ne sei, and so still na Akuffo Addo ene Bawumia mo issue license omo issue over 2,000 license abrana Ghana for ka se nipa a wo mo license no omo no mo ko nwure mu a na omo de license no edi bone nti se wo se o pesa o ko illegal mining na adan na still a wo da ho ema license abrana Ghana for ATM say eye illegal mining no ebe say edien ebe say kro no nti say hey momi enjai pesa minkumnya ene dien sebio hypocrisy no problem a ye face no eye MPP aban omo dwumadi omo di ya omo ma nipa bi omo ban tumi etumi nya certification enya license etumi bowura eye de eye kwayem ene ye nsase so because asam no ekuye galamsey no say ya de na be ma panyini a odi enim onim nyansa se ade na ekuye na oda ho ema license ema nkofo ho kwan se omonko na omonkonkoye because obi beje license a na so okoye mining na at the end of the day when you fail to monitor the person majority of them will use it to do illegal mining, and that is what the previous government failed to do. It's a simple thing. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish I can continue this. My voice really hurts. It is not easy. I'm going to end the show today. I need to rest my voice. Inti enyubreno, I'm ending this abruptly because my voice isn't doing better. Inti, I'll just take a break. I'll end today's show here. It's exactly
of the fight against corruption.
Ekuti abayino.
Maybe no kebi. Yet you come here.
Press conference.
But yet you come here. Academy maybe ankoye. We complain about national cathedrals. We complain about a lot of contracts. We feel the dream. So when we heard about Operation Recover All Loot and the kind of painful kukudama we you what turn na me ya we shem the papa we got honorable Samuel Kudeto Ablakwa in opposition when it comes to anti-corruption. Lawyer Martin Kebu, we are Daniel Domilevo, we are Nathaniel Kofi Bachi, COP. COP retired now, yes. And then we are Ramonacha. 5 solid gentlemen. I will handle you around. I know to catch them, they didn't give you confidence.
You gave me confidence.
So, and these people started their work before government, the president was sworn into office. Should not forget that.
I'm shaking on my nopper.
You understand? Then, the president told us there are 33 cases with watertight evidence.
Watertight?
I had my Attorney General. To ensure that Ghana, you to me, recover your loot. Mobile, young Kada Bay, yes, can introduce new taxes. But the ordinary Ghanaian who is already suffering will pay it. my importers and exporters. One gather what the two about to two one in Yamadu more because I beg Niska. Especially when you actually miscarry the swing. Hello to I cry from Namibaka when the issue about national service for me, make a oh then the year tria a rufusika, no that as for call.
And transfer no good in your salary. You may be caught 10 months. 10 months. Also made the profession 10 months in Trumaca.
13 months.
Teachers are 13 months, nurses are 10 months.
10 months. And so I will follow you.
So I am concerned about all these things. And therefore we are expecting that the Attorney General's office will be up to the task. The skill.
Okay, abusia it is some no bi ene ekokotie no na abusia ansa na yebeko ofa mienu no make sure say dwumedie onya like ya obe like subscribe to the channel na afin so share dwumedie no ma foforo so nsa entumi enkabi afi yenko kotie ensem a so ewo efa mienu no so abusia eye Attorney General Dominic Ayede pressure papa ne so no ano na papa esan say yato aba enyende John Dramani Mahama wo twa be ye 9 months enso yentimi prosecute Angeli NPP criminal ba akukura eno enam so magana fo ebu afu NDC abanya pressure Attorney General so no ese wani ensese mekacho ebu samo mienko ne nkonkoti ensema so efa Attorney General and NPP criminals
are getting too much. And the hope Ghana for year is running down.
Oh, so
when it comes to also
we so pre-bagging.
Pre-bagging.
This come
Sister 14 pre-bagging.
What is what you're saying?
Sister 14.
As you say.
No, so no, can. No, 60% cry is okay.
No, 40% what? Ready.
Yeah.
Yes, some trial.
A legal holiday. The grassroots, this is what makes them happy. Yet what no court every blessed day.
And this
what stops you from prosecuting people every blessed day to yes, there was a legal holiday. But even in legal holidays, you can have standby judges to deal with cases.
No, even conference cases.
You understand? Otu. And you share issues here, press conference. It was about the overall report.
But before you enter into the report, how many parties na Mushia here meeting?
I think there were 4 of us. GCPP, NDP, LPG, and then I think it was APP.
Why didn't you get PNC near that party?
Okay, so what happens is that we have a platform. Your friend, the General Secretary's platform of parties without representation in Parliament. Normally, when Assembly bar, we call on people. I wouldn't want to mention names, but I engage somebody from PNC. But sometimes time parties Assembly bar, they need to engage their national officers. Some of them they need to call. Apart from chairman sometimes might not Assembly or but will give in veto. Assembly or he might need to call minimum one word more friend, but some need to call neck or fake. To agree that associate yourself with this.
Okay.
So sometimes either some of the processes will go through. If you feel the course, you can't say okay. I mean, we will go ahead.
Okay.
If you want to support, you can support.
Okay.
So sometimes that is how we go. Then there are several issues that you be more what come up. That you be more what come up. You be more so that is what happens.
No, but if you are doing.
That is what happens.
No, but if you are doing issues of minority political parties, it must be consensus. It must represent that truly the minority political parties not represented in Parliament have taken this issue. In fact, I am one of the people who said, I've told my leader that for NDC, when they do good, we will tell them they've done good. We will applaud them. When they do wrong, we will look at because that is the work of a minority political party. That is the only thing that can make it relevant.
Exactly. Exactly. So, when we looked at oral report and we look at some of the issues that were raised by the Attorney General, one of the key issues that was raised by the Attorney General and was that number one, Attorney General he enjoys the headlines. Okay, because media trial only will win you headlines, but not prosecution. Okay?
What's the name?
When you engage in a media trial, it will win you headlines, but it will win you prosecutions. Because we are going after prosecution and not propaganda. No. Because you see, you can come to the media and say that, oh, you have these cases that you are going to court. But when you come and you name somebody, then you have incontrovertible evidence.
What a tight evidence.
You understand? You use such words. You encourage all of us today. I said, you court or your done deal. But unfortunately, one of the cyber security system I am more interested in because of in some of our security system. Since Tuesday, I've been receiving more information. Is the system.
Signals Bureau.
In the Attorney General press conference no can community do now one of the things are okay there. In the issue of community do there was a cyber security system no way they would procure. And per he checks at the national security that cyber security system one by the stores. There is no record of the stores. But us with you. You understand? You understand? And I don't know, Mama. Ochuma is the bidu. And come on, because you baby no. Man, because you baby no. It wasn't even in Ghana. Nampa kona catch them there. But Ghana, why are we doing this? This case that we are doing it in the public domain, do we understand what we are doing to ourselves? Not saying that. I know too, cyber security system na yekan. It's a system that you can use to do a lot of tracking. In fact, we put a message more because then it defeats Asama making there. On your good. There is a security system that is being handled by the national security. Back account some in the public domain. In fact, no serious country does that. That is why issues with national security, we say some of them are classified. National security operations, there are lots of things that when you're in the French, sometimes national security might need money, they don't have, or government might need money. President will to coin, man, president will have for no to coin. They have people that are source confidential, so maybe a year will go between source confidential. Up to him.
You have to give him cash.
Either cash or they use.
You have to give him cash.
Either cash or they use. They won't go and issue a check from national security to him.
You have to give him cash.
Either cash or they use a sealed account. They can create an account. On your which like national security, just certain transactions. Okay, so when you want to discuss these issues in the public, obi beka there, internet, everybody and lawyers work at them that one for all transactions of national security, and you see some of the different pseudo accounts that they've created. But you see, the judges stopped it because they knew those are sensitive issues that borders on the security of the nation. Some of these things, you know, say I shall not can there, or channel say MPP, NDC for Benima, MPP, when you're there, you also for a better job, you have a kind of pesky or condo. It will also be used them same route. And the fact that we are especially discussing a cyber security system, once everybody knows the origin of that cyber security system, the terrorists and all those things around, they also know how that system will replace because they know the origins of it. And in this case, we have named it. It's the ISC Holdings in Israel, which was the one who brought this system.
To what name the
lawyer of Edinburgh.
Guys, it's the technology.
Yes. Yeah. And they deal with nations. They don't deal with even individuals. They deal with nations because once this thing they will procure, it can have serious security implications. International security will be doing that phone and hide that. They know how to track it to see where exactly your phone is.
Tina obi one more na mo ani ache no.
All of them go for me. I don't know what to say when I say that. That's how they track them and arrested them. And President Mahama made mention of it. And that system, they have it to be able to track the IP addresses of those who are fooling on social media. He did not do further checks. Because the only check that he says he did was at the stores of national security. Probably you should have gone further, engage the
Okay, Abushia teachers winning some course our political hiring such as a lawyer, Tsatsu Chikata Waba, about expose NPP gurus involved in illegal mining. I watch and another danko Akuffo sebi or your mind before 8 years ago, Nanado Tamanote Akunyaso as president no na Ghana fo sun yenshuo se yenyanshuo num like enkwala ebe wo omono boso mo edi for me ni nyina na Addo ebubu ndu egu na sum ha o issue line se abusua o twese this time around nke se mo kan mo anu tum nke ka galam se asempo di a nke se MPP fo ekabina so se omo animu asem nti omo nam krom na mo ye demonstration enso no lawyer Tsatsu Chikata de onimpefi se NPP fo na e2 galam se nti John Dramani Mahama make sure se omo bedili ebusua me de mo besia na madam asesamba je pene me koti samo a ekoso e political hiring so aha POG Media madam ase